Hey guys, hope you are doing well. Harry here, and you remember last time we were talking about the list. So today we're gonna talk about the list operation. So this is the second video on the list. So in the list operation, we're gonna talk about the Venn diagram. So hopefully you guys remember about the Venn diagram on your school. Well, if you don't remember, let me give you some introduction on the Venn diagram, right? So what is basically a Venn diagram, right? So a Venn diagram, like a proper definition is like a Venn diagram is a visual representation side of set, basically set using overlapping circles or any other shape. It can be triangle, it can be rectangle, right? So it is named after John Venn, a British mathematician who introduced the concept in the late 19th century. So let's talk about the intersection first, right? So what is the intersections? Well, intersection is very easy to understand. Let me not make it into very technical way, right? Let me explain you into very easy way. Let's say we have a simple set, right? So let's say like list A and list B, right? So list A represent our this first circle and list 2 represent our second circle, right? So when we're gonna overlap both of them, when they overlap, we have a middle part where the intersecting part of those circles, right? So those have certain elements, right? Let's say like 1 2 3 4 5 is our all the element over here, right? And 3 4 5 6 our second element on the second circle, right? You can see the overlapping part is basically the concept of like 3 and 4, and 3 and 4 are those red area overlapping part. So now we're gonna use the intersections operations on list to figure out how the intersection work, right? So basically I'm gonna declare a list variable, list 1 and list 2, which have our data elements 1 2 3 4 in the list 1 and 3 4 5 6 on list 2, right? So I'm gonna run this. So now second you have to define a inter is basically you can say like a variable. You can put an intersection, you can define even a B, it doesn't matter, it's need to be a string, right? Then after that you're gonna cast into a list, right? After doing a list, then you have to cast into a set inside the list, which will be closed by our tuple, right? Then you will put inside our list 1, list 2, and in the middle you have to use and. This is a very important, you have to use the and. If you use something else, then it will change into something else, right? So always use the and for intersections, right? So then you're gonna run this, right? Now I'm gonna call this. So now you can see 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 are overlapping elements. You can see over here the red point, 3 and 4 is our overlapping element. So similarly, now let's talk about the union, right? What is union, right? So for union, I would like to say like see on list 1 and list 2 is similar as the group 1 and group 2 on our circle, right? But you have realized something on the first intersection. There is a element which is a basic duplicate part which is in the middle of those intersecting area, but now we will not have any duplicate, right? We will consider those element, but we will not consider a duplicate part, right? So it will be our discrete variables, right? But into a natural number, or it can be a whole number, or it can be like any integer or positive negative, right? So but it not need to be duplicate, right? So we're gonna remove all the duplicate. That is a union basically. So if in a proper definition we can say the union of two sets denoted by symbol, this is the symbol, right, is a new set that contain all the element from both set, that is a and B, right, without any duplicate. So without any duplicate over here, right, it combine all the unique element and both set into a single set, right? So let me explain you how this work, right? Let's say like a list A, that is our group A, right? So that is the list 2, that is our group B. So those are two circles, right? There will be an overlap between them. So overlapping element are 3 and 4, 3 and 4. So I'm gonna use the same concept like above. So but basically I'm gonna change the variable into union, right? Then you have to follow the method list, right? Because it is in a list data types, then you have to use a tuple for open and close basically our what you call a circular bracket or a round bracket, right? Then set, you have to define, you have to cast into a set that then we will put inside our list variables, right? So then you have to use this symbol instead of and symbol. So this is the symbol for your separations, right? So now you're gonna run this. So now you can see the union. Basically union give us a continued discrete variable 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there was a duplicate 3 and 4. Those are considered as only one single data elements, right? So or data points, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? There's no more duplicate. So guys, let's talk about the differences, right? So we also need to know about like what are the two differences on our list, right? So basically I'm gonna copy this same list again, right? And after copying this, I'm gonna copy this again, the operations, right? When I put the operations over here, then I will say differences, right? So basically in the symbol, I'm going to use a negative symbol, which basically give us the differences between them, right? So I need to recall this. There we go. So while recalling this, I got 1 and 2. Those are 1 and 2 are the differences on the list 1 while taking the list 2. Well, if I say I want to see differences, right? And differences, I will put a differences 2 and write list 2, right? And then I'll define the list 1, right? So I will run this differences 2. Now you can see over here is 5 6 because we are considering like list 2 first and list 1 second. So those are the differences. Okay, let me explain you from here, right? So let's say like list 1 and list 2, right? So basically what's happened is like list 1 minus list 2 on the first sections, right? So the set consisting of all the element which belong to list 1 but did not belong to list 2, right? So basically we are considering only the list 1, right? 1 and 2, right? So basically basically 3 and 4 will be removed because that's contained into the list 2. So basically only 1 and 2 will be considered, right? Because of that the answer is 1 and 2. Similarly on the differences 2, you can see over here we are considering list 2 first, that is like 3 4 5 6, then list 1, that is 1 2 3 4. So basically we will remove all those value from the similar value from list 2, and the non-similar value, right, like 5 and 6, those remaining value will be considered into a differences, that is 5 and 6, right? So remember last time I used a for loop to check the differences is basically the same, right? Cheers guys, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video, right?